Twitch right now?
It's just on Twitch.
Wow. Hey guys.
Hello, Twitch.
Hey, do we make you Twitch? What's up? So, after many people saying, like, I don't think you can legally be on Twitch because of the way you look, we looked at the guidelines, and that was just a lie. We could have been on Twitch the whole time, so here we are.
I'm getting feedback from something else. Give me 1 second.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Hold on.
Is it my hot fan?
No. I'm trying to access thing because I want to see why Twitch. There. It's
this
playing.
Is old.
Oh my god! Let's go to my channel. There we go. Okay.
We're checking out Twitch programs out there. See how they're working. See if they're coming through. We know you Twitch people. We really care about their audio and video, so we just want to make sure it's all ready.
It is, yeah. It's streaming, so that's it's working. This is interesting.
All right. This is interesting. We're not expecting too many viewers. This might be an archived video. Man, I had to really dislocate my jaw to say that fucking word, Dino. Archive. Sorry, guys. Maybe save for later. But we just really wanted to check, and we're still going to have some fun, though, too.
This is what we're trying to do is just learn that Twitch works. So we want to see that it functions and that it comes through properly on both of our channels. And we even see our backgrounds. Idiotsayswhut Twitch is and not from diabetes, which I think is a funny joke. I wrote it and I think it's funny. So
I think it's very good. If you like this, hey, what do they do? Do they do the like and sub or follow us on the Twitch streams? Twitch with us.
They follow, and then you can friend us as well. So, hey.
Well, I just sounded like the worst stepdad, didn't I, on this? Like, how do you do this Twitchness stream? Do you which one of these three prongy things go into which TV?
I think we should bring back the term Twitchineers. We're Twitchineers, and we're starting things off a little different.
I like that, though. I don't know. Like, that's Tim Lost family Christmas card worthy right there. That's got a ring to it.
It's something. Well, you know what? It seems to be working. It's something. I don't know. Listen,
well,
until we rewatch this, we're not going to have any idea of actually what happened. The fact is, we have two people who are watching us, which is, I think, as well.
It's amazing.
Feel free. I'm pretty sure there's a way for them to comment. Our comments are live, so feel free. We are going to play. What was the game? You said Card Shark?
Yeah, Card Sharks. The old Monte Brown thing. It's now Joe McClain from Community, hosted on NBC. Card Sharks. We're going to see how far we can go. Basically, it's a game we can play over camera. Twitch likes games. We each got a deck of cards. I'll be the dealer first if you want to go first, Dino.
Okay, so
I will. I will go through I'm going to shuffle the cards now. Right now, we're just for bragging rights. Card chart champion. So most cards predicted correctly is the goal we're going for. The bar is set at 0 right now. So Dino, I think you're going to excel this first round. And it's pretty simple. I hold up a card, and you pick if it's going to be higher than lower than that. We just keep going until you bust out.
I think that's something.
It's usually they have prize money guaranteed, and I could probably I got some cream corn and some rice. I got some non-perishable items if we want to pawn them off later. We could definitely do that but they're mine, so I'd just be like, it'd be more of a game of protecting my food from Dino, which sounds like a better idea anyways. We just protect each other's food hoards.
Well, I'm not fast, but I do have like octopus arms, so I might be able to just take it. You never know. It's
Ooh, I like it. Your first card.
Okay.
Is a 6.
6, and I have to say the next card is either going to be higher or lower. Correct?
Yeah, just higher or lower.
I'm going to say higher.
Higher. Okay, we got 6 there. Let's see if it was higher. It's a 7. It was higher. Oh, this is a lot more entertaining when you got a sexy girl flipping these big cards. But you got me.
Fair.
7. 7 higher, lower than 7.
I'm gonna say lower.
Lower. I like your style. I'm not even gonna look at anticipation.
Ooh, it's a lot higher.
Bust out. So you got 2. Dino ends up a ranking of 2 right now.
All right.
I'm excited. I'm giddy. I'm kind of like, you set the bar obtainable for me, so I'm excited.
So I commented, comment if you're watching, because
Please do.
Maybe
Comment the
us watching
cards.
each other. I don't know.
Oh.
So I pull a card now, and you guess, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the card. Is a 2.
2. Well, I think I'm gonna go higher.
You're gonna go higher.
I'm gonna go higher. I feel good about it.
All right.
If it's another 2, I'm gonna shit my pants.
If it's an ace, I'm gonna laugh a lot. It is a 9. No, wait. Yes, a 9.
9.
9. So that means you have 2, correct?
Yes.
Are we going higher or lower, sir?
Yeah, this is.
It's a very good.
I'm gonna go higher. I want to go higher. I think a face card's coming up.
All right. Let's see what happens. It is also.
Oh, it's a fucking another 9. Ain't that? Oh,
which means it's a no, right? Because
it's a no.
How would it be this? Do you have to say the same? Because that seems ridiculous.
You could say the same, and then I'll say let's quit podcasting, and you become a fucking fortune teller, because I've seen no one's ever done it, and that's a ballsy move.
Fair.
That's ballsy. So if you want to do it, you'd be a legend in the card shark community. Reddit would blow up. I'm just saying.
I have a cool story about that. It was playing poker, and I did a Maverick where I guessed what it was, what the wild card was going to be, and so I had 3 cards, but it was I forget what it was, where it's an X, and you reveal instead of a turn, and the center card of the X is a wild card. I had 2 9s. There was another 9 on there, and I'm like, I put everything on it because it was just between friends. It was like $6.
Right.
I'm like, I'm putting everything, and I went right to the end, and then they flipped it over, and the wild card was a 9, which means I have 4 aces, whatever's highest. And dude, as soon as it turned, I was like, and everyone's like, "No, I'm out. No, I'm not gonna meet." I was like, "Damn it!" No poker face. Anyways, so we start over, correct?
Well, yeah, we just keep our number right now. We're stuck at 2 apiece.
2 apiece.
Yeah, so that's our high number. 2 is the high number. Right. I've already shuffled these up. I'll shuffle them again because I look like a shifty guy. You can. I'm just doing it because I have that face. It's my grandmother used to cheat at cards all the time, and I ain't gonna lie. I may have rigged it up to where I had some of the high cards set off to the side just in case if I needed them. But then I realized I'm not drawing for myself, so I didn't think the ruse out long enough. I was just cheating you. I was just making it easier for you. I was like, I don't know. So yeah, that's my great grandma on me. I'm sorry. That's just got to find a way to win.
Most senior citizens have to do better, or they have to learn how to cheat at cards as they get older. That's the real mark of someone who's hit retirement. Like, I can cheat at cards now. I think that's.
They're not good at it. You just can't call them out on it. Who's going to call grandma out for pocketing aces? Like,
well, the same asshole who's going to charge somebody for stealing food that they're trying to feed their family with. But those assholes exist.
That's a fucked up Thanksgiving dinner. I'll tell you that. A lot of resort. I just see a lot of class divide sitting at the table like this. It's like a weird, an awful independent movie or something. That's what it sounds like. Oh my god! All right,
yeah.
Bada boom. 6.
Another 6. God
Not
damn.
an easy card. 6 of spades.
All right. I'm gonna say higher.
Boom. 10.
All right.
10. All right.
No.
Ooh, I know. This is where it gets. This is crunch time.
This is crunch time.
You can get over this hump. You might get a good run going.
I'm gonna say higher.
Higher.
Damn.
It's higher.
So lower. Let's go lower.
We're gonna go lower, keeping it lower. A 5.
Let's go higher.
It's not higher. We're getting good.
Damn
4. Oh, we got 4 that time. 4.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's an impressive fucking 4, if I may say so.
I thought. Well, it was fortunate, right? You get a king. There's only 4. After the cards that we've gone through. Did you re-put in the cards that were taken out?
I did. I did.
I did not do that.
So there's aces and 2s in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because my plan was, if I was doing it and I got caught in a 10, I'll just grab the ace and I'll set me over, or grab the 2. But I realized you got cards in Canada. I can't do that. So that wouldn't work out. So you saw my ruse fall like the house of cards it was built on.
The only reason I did is because you told me, though. I would have had no idea, and you could have been like, "No, I'm just gonna make sure you don't lose. Fuck you."
I just thought at that point there was so much egg on my face. I figured I had to acknowledge the situation, just in my soul, because if I knew I was going to get away with it, I'd definitely not tell you. But this plan was flawed at the beginning.
That's awesome. I'm gonna see. Did it send you a notification?
How you guys doing on Twitch? This is nice. This is new. Everyone's saying come to Twitch. Twitch is nice. It feels cozy.
It feels nice. It feels nice. All right. So our first card is an ace. Hold on. Is an ace high? Ace is high, right?
Ace is high.
Ace is high.
Oh, low. Low. I'm liking it. 5. High. Oh, I'm on a roll, dude. I just got to beat 4 or 5. King. Yes. You feel that, Dino? Because we're going to go low next time. Low.
It's an 8.
8. Ooh, crunch time. I'm going renegade, man. I feel it in my bones. It's lower than an 8. People should say it higher, but no, I feel lower. I was wrong. My bones have osteoporosis or whatever. It doesn't. It's not
osteoporosis affects us all.
Osteoporosis. That's how I spell RAR. Osteoporosis.
Do not remind me. So for people who are watching that didn't already know this, was that in a conversation Tim and I had earlier this week on our show called Idiotsayswhut, which airs on YouTube and Facebook, which we have links attached in our profiles. We described how Tim has learned to use emojis this past week. So I have been suffering the brunt of it with getting all sorts of things. One of those things is our emoji for the thumbs up, which is normally on our messenger communication, is now a dinosaur. So, which I'm enjoying because, my name's Dino. So, oh, by the way, I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. This is Tim Loss. It's very exciting. So ultimately, now the funny part is that he would always say "rar" to me, and it was always misspelled. And I'm like, "That's not how you spell it." I sent it back, and he responded, "Like, is that how you spell it?" I pretty much lost.
He died. It made my day.
I died. It made my evening, and I had a good chuckle.
I just feel like the H should be in there somewhere, and I'm wrong. I don't think the H goes in "rawr." It's 7.
Yeah, because then it's like "rawr," and you're like, that's a little bit breathy for someone with such garlic breath like myself. I feel like that would be an assault. That would be an assault if I was like, "Hey, lady," and she'd be like, "Oh, I can't see it in my one eye. What the fuck's wrong with you?" And that's
the fucking emoji's shooting at shot every time. It's like, "Rawr, what's up? I'm a fucking dinosaur." Yeah. Like, I've had multiple good franchises. What's up?
Generation spanning franchises, let's be honest.
I'm good with kids. They love me.
And they are delicious in times of need.
I've been around. I live in Southern Illinois. If you Twitch people and get to know each other, some dudes around here look like Dinos, like the emoji Dinos dating some chicks after all the substances they've done. Just short arms, skinny, and just looking for a place to hide out for winter. A homosexual.
They say "rawr" with an H too.
They do. They have an excuse though. They have no teeth. I have plenty of teeth still, and I just don't think that's
Some might say it's annoying.
Well, don't worry, I'm working on that too.
Hey, I see. My teeth aren't perfect either, right? Like I have my two front teeth are a lot bigger than all the others, but I'm like, I would love to have the money to get them all like fancy porcelain and stuff, and be like, I have a great smile now. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to look a lot different. Then I'm going to freak myself out too, because that'll happen.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
makes
know
sense.
why we haven't aged teeth that look normal. Like can I get age? We got genes that are already pre-acid washed, pre-worn. Why can't I get teeth that look normal teeth and not like beams of porcelain tile of light? And especially if you're tanned, you're screwed. Like
Well,
it doesn't look natural at all. Like I know what you're feeling, but it looks better than what I have, so I can't really throw.
let's be honest though. At our size, when we shop, the pants come with the crotch pre-ripped, so it's kind of what we have to suffer
The
through.
tailor does it immediately. It's almost
It's like
embarrassing.
we could add silk, or we just rip it from now and just call it air conditioning.
They do. That's what they do. We act like that we're pregnant, and they give us security cuts so we get a clean rip in our
And a
jeans.
stretchy
It's like,
waist. And a stretchy waist. Yeah. It's accommodating for growth. And you know
that's
what?
ridiculous. I love it.
Seems reasonable.
Oh man.
All right.
Woo! We were going to play checkers over this. You know what Dino responded? Fuck checkers. I've never seen such an emotional. You could tell someone's played with them and never moved their back row. Like, God damn it, Uncle Larry. Why? I'm fucking 5. Just move one. I get the game. Give me a break. This isn't fun at all. Like,
It is. It is. Every time I've played, it is like living in a nightmare because I'm like, there's not enough options and technique to this, and it's driving me crazy. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm saying I don't know it, and it hasn't been explained to me, and it makes me physically angry because I'm like, no, that's a stupid game. Okay, it's a
well,
stupid game if you're not going to explain how to play it.
there's 2 techniques. You follow the rules or you break them. Like, that's it. Because everyone I play that makes checkers miserable as fuck is because they break the rules. And traditional checkers, if a jump is percentage, you have to take it. You can't just not jump it. So like it becomes a weird stalemate of like, oh, you have to bribe the fucking the corner guys. Like, is 2 checkers enough? Fine, you fucking sadist. Give me a triple jump. Just get me the fuck out of this corner so I can move some. Like it's more of a game of stalemate and annoyance. That's what it should be called, not annoyance. But yeah, no one plays it by the rules. I had to read them all the time, and that you don't want to be that guy either. Well, the rules say, shut up, Tim, ruining all these games. Like,
Like
so you
it's
just got to deal with it.
the same thing with people who play Risk and say, "Oh, Australia and Argentina and Chile are connected." No, they're not. They're not. That's not how that works. Okay, that is a
What
huge body of
fucking
water.
game did they play?
There's no
Like,
line. There's no line that goes across one and comes out the other side. That's not how the board works.
I
The board is
I
maintained.
I Risk. Back when I had a flip phone, I only had 2 games on it: Risk and online blackjack. And
That's
Risk,
ignorance.
I was
Risk
a
is the
yeah,
same
it
with that.
makes sense. Yeah, Risk was amazing because it made me feel sophisticated after all
Definitely.
the dirty sleaze of the the blackjack gave me. So I would play this, and I remember, my biggest comeback was I didn't even have all of Australia, just 3/4 of it. I fought back to win the computer on the game. It was set on medium difficulties, not legendary. Come on, you know I'm a medium
Okay.
difficulty type guy, but it was awesome, and and I could tell for a fact on that game and every game I played, no. Chili wasn't helping my ass out. Chili was getting ready to fucking swipe me from behind. He was fucking me over. Like it was not part of all. Is
Look,
there a history reason behind that at all?
never go to war in Russia. It's that simple. So the fact is, you never start a land war in Asia. The fact you cannot in Risk,
Unless
I
you're a
have,
Mongolian.
and even then, there's a lot of areas you bypass. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're going to stick
Even
to the Silk Road, maybe expand from there. Far north, no. Far south, definitely not. You're just going to go down the
paper
middle.
victory. It's a
Yeah,
paper
exactly.
victory. Like, I did it. Really? Did you? Kind of. It's a lot of space.
It's
That's
a
what he
lot
said.
of listen, and people are standing there going, "Well, listen, I've prevented anyone else from taking it." And you're like, "Yes, that is a moral victory, but really, that's all. It's not anything more."
Yeah, it's a harsh climate, massive, and
Listen,
to
the key
take the
is
biggest
Africa.
problem.
Africa is the
Oh,
key.
yeah.
If you conquer Africa, then you can actually conquer South America easily. And then South America and Africa, you're looking at a boundary of only 3 countries, maybe 4, to cover that area.
That's a
Right?
good risk plan. No, that's great.
Yeah. But the problem is when you want to expand into North America, is then you're met with multiple areas of opposition from the U.S. specifically. Whereas if you go to the Middle East, as soon as you get into the area where Iraq and Kuwait would, and Iran would be, and there is you're now met with like 6 countries attaching, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna get fucking raided like a bitch,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna work, right? It's very. I enjoy the theory. I just hate people too much because I will flip that board on you because you're a bastard. When I
And,
came in with twice the army and then you still win because I kept on rolling aces, ones,
uh,
I will cut you because that is not even the amount of bullets I came in with. You're gonna die. Okay, that is just how facts work.
what's crazy? That's kind of a similar strategy. What I used in the online game Pandemic was I'd always use Madagascar. Yeah, I would always use Madagascar because Madagascar would shut their shit down. They only have like 2 ports. And they would, as soon as someone coughed, they were like, Madagascar's port shut down. I'm like, God damn it, I can't affect you if you don't let any of us in. So
So
I'd always start there.
that's all. So this is the thing is the problem with starting a Madagascar. I loved Pandemic, and I would actually name the disease like your mom. So it's like your mom has killed the world, or it's like
Yeah, it's
your
good stuff.
ugliness has killed the world. I sent that to one guy. He was like, "Fuck you, man." I'm like, "It's honest. Sorry." I might still have the screenshots. It was pretty good. But that was the one thing was places like Iceland, Madagascar, and I think New Zealand as well. Was you had to get there close enough as you were expanding that it would get a little overflow, but you couldn't. If you started there, what happens is it would be centralized there and it would grow and then not leave fast enough because they would shut down their borders like a bunch of pussies. It's
I had a
I love those kind of strategy games because I'm an
I had
idiot.
a I had a model actually where to deter that because that was my main problem. I would set up the web to where it was undetectable, but not deadly at all. So I actually had one game where everyone was a carrier of the disease. It was
Mm.
just like herpes. No one gave a shit. Didn't kill anyway. Just made a little spot on their chest. They're like, I can live with it. Let's still up genitalia. So it did. And then when I increased it, that was the main flaw I had. I increased it to speed because everyone had it. It just started. I should have been very slow, but I increased it kind of a little bit faster than I did. And they found a vaccine. There was no meme saying the vaccine was bad, so everyone was taking it on the game. It was no Joe Rogan around in this game at that point, so my game was fucked. I had
Horsters
nothing to
were
do.
never discovered in that world, so
No,
they
there was no. Ironically, a Diablo cow level was still in the game now. I don't understand that, but horse is not allowed.
That's hilarious. No, you know what? That's the funny thing is, knowing how popular that game was, I'm surprised things have turned out the way they have over the last couple of years. Don't you think? I feel like we should have known better. You know,
I just feel like they just did understand the game. Like some of the stuff that happens was like, yeah, this is what happens, and this
there
is
was a
what.
lot of science words. That's fair. Like,
Yeah. Well, around here, they'd always throw up the image of Woodstock, saying during there was a epidemic, pandemic during Woodstock, and we still did Woodstock. And I was like, yeah. And those guys were a bunch of dirty hippies that swam in their own sewage. So
also true.
why
That's
is it
factual.
convenient that we're like, oh, hippies are the golden standards of knowledge and morals when it's our narrative, but afterwise, you're not giving them a grilled cheese or letting them touch you, you know? Yeah,
Ven-
throw a question, man.
ve- vengeance. you have a question, hit us. Absolutely.
Yeah, hit it. It sounds
Ask
like a
away.
vengeful CNA.
Is Dino taken?
Oh shit!
Oh, thank you for that.
Well,
I am. Surprisingly, but thank you for that. That's
Dino is taken, and I'm hurt. Is what's going on now. I'm just hurt. I am also taken, but you don't care. So
I'm gonna take a picture of these comments and send it to my wife and be like, "Hey, honey, just so you know, I
you
got
were
I got
smiling.
Twitch options." I was smiling so much.
That was
Okay,
it.
well, good
She's
talk.
gone.
Bye.
She was hungry for
I'm
the
sorry.
D, you know.
I am sorry. But
She didn't want to play that type of card sharks game. She wanted a different game. This is a Twitch is going to be cool if this is the type of people that show up. We need more. Vengeance showed up, took its
I feel
shot, and then left.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'll be honest, but
You
I'm.
take a compliment and you smile,
Oh,
sir.
I
Like,
definitely feel. I feel great. He's hard right now. Trust me. Okay, bye. Yeah, that's fair. That's
Twitch
definitely.
wins.
Yeah, that's fair. That's obviously. Like really, that's just how I live my
Oh,
life. That's just how I live my life. Okay, bye. He's
oh
hard.
dear God, that was awesome. Oh man. Hey, I hope you follow us and come back. We need some more of that spunk around here. Not that type of spunk, Dino. Control yourself. Some
I make
comic
no
spunks.
promises, Tim. I think if this is how things are going to work, I'm telling you, I make no promises.
I I love our viewers pointing out factual information. We all know Dino's the dreamy one of Idiot Says What, but how dare her or dare them for calling it out? Shoot me a throw a tin can over there, brother.
You know
Get
what?
it going.
I am in a very loving, happy marriage, and I will happily send you a whisper after the stream. I hope you're well, and I look forward to entertaining everyone with our Twitch stream. That's the thing. That's what it's called, right?
My wife's from Chicago. Even if it's a joke, I want to just hit it on me. Even if I say it makes me feel good, she takes that shit for serious, and she's got a good right hook. That's all I'm saying. She can put you in your place. Like,
Well, it's
I've
not just
never
that.
stepped to her. I'm just saying. I've learned my lesson. I've seen what the other bitches have done. Like I ain't gonna fucking be done.
And Tim's 9 feet tall, so trust me, it's only fair. And this is the funny thing is that when you say it like she's from Chicago, I'm like, you should let me meet her.
Whoa!
That's a little aggressive, isn't that? But
He found my Craigslist ad, Dito. That's what he's doing.
when you say it's public, buddy. Eddie. No, but this is the thing: is when someone says like she's from Chicago, I'm like, she can make a gun out of a pipe. That's what that means.
That's exactly what I meant by that.
That's a
she
hard.
she don't carry personally. She doesn't want that to come back on her, but she knows ways.
If anything, it just looks like components. It doesn't look like anything threatening. Give her 30 seconds. You'll die.
This is how hardcore she is. Born in Chicago, honeymoon in East St. Louis and Ferguson, Missouri. Boom. I was like, we stopped at all the Waffle Houses like we fucking owned them. And she's hardcore, not give a shit. This was right after the riots and shit. We just show great money though. Great hotel room for cheap. So it was, and nothing, I can't actually say that. If you ever been to Ferguson, Missouri or East St. Louis, it's actually a very nice neighborhood. You just don't be a dick. Like, don't go, don't be an asshole or asking for shit. You're usually pretty cool, man. No one's going to fuck with you.
I think that's fair. It's pretty reasonable. Listen, I feel like there's a lot more. Like the one thing I do love about the United States. So I'm Canadian. So for our one person watching. So, but that's the one thing is like the hard part is in Canada. It's a long drive to visit anywhere. Whereas in the States, you can go through states and you will get a very different experience. That's why, in actuality, the U.S. is a lot like Europe in that you can go to another country quite efficiently and frugally, and enjoy a whole other environment, which is quite nice. But
I've actually had UK talent come over here, and what I found weird, UK is a smaller area. It's condensed. So even though we're spaced out, we have a lot of stuff near us. Once you get in the Midwest, where it's just a lot of
Yeah.
Midwesty stuff, they're like, "Whoa, you're traveling an hour or two." It's a lot of travel they didn't expect because they hear when you hear of the states, you hear of the metropolitan and the bustle.
Right.
You don't really hear too much of the John Cougar Mellencamp and pink houses and the simple folks
Yeah.
that populate most of the heart of United States. So that's what was the main complaints he said. It was just like, I love the people, everything, but it was a little bit further drive than I thought. And I was like, I wasn't footing the gas bill, so I totally was sympathetic with him. So
It seems reasonable. No,
how
after
is
all,
it
it's
up
been
there? Do you guys like does winter come and kind of shut you guys down, keep you indoors for a little bit, or is this not that bad?
seldom. So when I was young, that happened. So that would have been in the late '80s or late '90s was when that would still happen. But into the 2000s, like from 2001, 2002, maybe until like 2011, there were people who were like, I didn't buy new winter boots. Like we didn't have much snow, but we had cold. We had for about 10 years, we would get crazy winds and like -30, which never happened. When I was a kid, we'd get a lot of snow and it wouldn't be that cold, but we would get a lot of wind. No, because snow it kills the cold. Same like rain kills the heat.
Right.
Same thing. Just in the reverse. So what would happen is ultimately you would have that kind of weather, and when there was no snow, it was just freezing. So now it's weird because we got snow quite early. It didn't last or anything, but it lasts for a couple days. And now like this week it's like 13 or 14 degrees, which means it's like around 45, 40
Oh yeah,
degrees, which for us is like beautiful. It's easy.
you're
It's great
fucking
weather.
Celsius ass. You fucking
Sorry,
it's
sir. Welcome to the 21st century. Okay. The
it's
whole rest of the
actually
world is
I
metric
don't.
and Celsius. That is not on me, sir.
No, it isn't on you. I just had to point it out because I feel inferior. It's what us do. How dare you? Need to complicate your measurement system up. What's this even tens bullshit? Like is that how it works, or is it different? I don't know. I always hated the standardized. Is standardized better? I always thought metric was more easy in fluids and easier to measure, but standard is just what I was taught more. So
So growing up, I grew up in a machine shop. My dad was a machinist. He had a machine shop. We built machines, right? And everything traditionally was in inches. So I was always comfortable with inches and I was less
makes
comfortable with
sense.
centimeters. But Europe has centimeters. So even in Greece, when someone asked me how tall I am, I said I'm 189, which is 189 centimeters, which is 6'2".
Why don't you guys do pounds? Like I've noticed that.
I
Like
do pounds, but
maybe
so
maybe not Canada,
yeah.
but why do some countries do like stones? I don't ever got that.
Okay, so stones is in the UK, which is so think about it is for imperial to metric. That weirdness is stones to pounds. Like it's weird.
Oh,
Stones are 14 pounds, which you're like that doesn't make anything. That doesn't make sense at all, right? But that's it's just what they're
it probably
comfortable with.
goes back to like centuries to a trading thing that happened, and that's just how they did it. Like you always
Sure.
hear, I can't pinpoint, but I always heard like during the silk trade and stuff like that, there'd always be form of measurements that happened,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, that's the whole thing was a yard. I don't remember the history. I'm a little bit high, so I don't remember the history. But I remember that the yard stick was a specific measurement, and that was the whole idea, right? The difference was that it was throughout history there were different measurements, right? There was a cubit, there was all sorts of things that were really. Now the United States takes things a little bit drastically because they measure things in eagles versus eagles per barbecue, which is a weird measurement, but
We
that's
do.
have you ever
We
seen that?
do.
It's a very
No
funny joke. I don't know
eagles.
who it's just a street joke, but yeah, they're like, yeah,
Oh,
if
I
you don't
got
measure
you.
my eagles per
I
barbecue,
remember.
doesn't
That
count.
makes I got now. I thought you were serious. I was like, there's someone in Montana really making a living doing that shit, but I'm gullible. He's talking about edibles, and I'm like, I'm just hungry. Like that's what. But I'm not shy. Edibles are weird, man. Around
So
here.
Well, that's the difference. Is it's still the Wild West in a lot of the United States when it comes to edibles,
True.
right? So up here, they've actually it's fairly uniform, but like for myself, I'm able to get better edibles because the law states that each edible serving can be a maximum of 10 milligrams, which for my giganticness, that's not really going to be enough. So I usually float around 25 to 50 milligrams,
Oh
and
yeah.
that sets me up for the whole day. There's a little ASMR for everybody. But ultimately, what happens is that I get a package. Like each package says it has 10 gummies. The total is 250 milligrams of THC. Ergo,
Yep.
it's just 25 milligrams. Whereas then there are other people who can get you gummies that are like, say 2 inches long and it's like a gummy bear, and they're like, yeah, just take a sliver, and you're like, what? You're like, and by the way, you may not want to touch it with your bare hands because it's goopy, and you're like, oh, that's not
Wow.
right. And I've heard that I actually tried a little while ago the mints, the weed mints, which are like 10 milligrams per thing, but like a package of 10 mints, which was like $15. I'm like, all right, that's fine. The next day I had the worst hangover. Like I was just dried out because I was popping those mints late. My breath was fresh that day. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
I went and I saw something I never thought was possible. There's this thing called like Roy Biggs oil, RSO oil or something. And I
Yeah.
looked at the THC on it, and the THC was 370%. Like sugar added into a soda. Like, how did you do that molecularly? Be that much sugar? But yeah, it was 300. It's condensed down so much that it becomes in a syringe, and it's used for making your own edibles and drinks at the house.
It's
It
super
started.
concentrate kind of thing.
Yeah, it started as a guy was trying had various medical conditions, and nothing was on the market here in the United States that really felt like it was treating it. So he made his own, and it's basically THC on steroid. It's like it doesn't. People open the doors for it. It doesn't do that type of shit. Is what I'm saying. But I never knew how to do it.
Yeah.
I just thought you ate it pure. You're actually supposed to mix it with something or do something because it's better. Because I actually
Where you
just
give it a little.
syringed it. I syringed it in my mouth. It stuck everywhere, turned in my mouth into tar. I lost some of it. Some of it went back in the syringe. Now I'm trying to suck it through the syringe. I'm like, I made so many mistakes. I lost, but it tasted like ass.
Yeah.
It was the
Really
worst.
does
Like
not
if you've
taste
ever
good.
had a pinchy shit on you, this one had diarrhea from hell. Like it just got done eating a 5-layer burrito, and it was doing some nasty stuff to me. Like
That's messed up.
that's true, and I didn't know how to do it. I later come find out, yeah, you just mix it with coffee. It's a lot more tolerable. It should have worked, but I think I lost so much of it. I didn't feel a thing. I was just more depressed that I was out like $50.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is that wherever it's not legal is it's still that Wild West.
Yeah. Well, we Illinois is technically legal recreationally, but we're surrounded by a bunch of states that aren't. So
Yeah,
it's still the Wild West. Like
yeah.
I have personal brands I won't buy just because I don't like
I
how they
do.
taste and stuff like that.
Well, see what I do like is when people can make confections out of THC laced products. I do enjoy that. Like you could get a nice cookie, and I'm like, this is the thing: is a weed cookie doesn't taste like a cookie. It usually tastes like weed, which tastes like shit. But if you get a good cookie with a hint of weed flavor, you're like, that's a proper cookie, and I'm in. And I'm telling you, those things will light you up.
They're good. I like them too.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct. If it's a different thing. I had one guy give me a set of 6 cookies, and he's like, "Just take 2 or 3." And I was like, "Fuck, dude, I go hard into the paint." I ate all 6, and I've never had so much fun watching a Munsters fucking special in my life. I was like, Herman Munster is the shit, dude. Is anyone else watching this? I was in it, man. It was great. What people do around here, which is nuts, is I've had some people make brownies and they don't know the proper procedure because they're always supposed to melt it down in butter. So they just threw like a half ounce in weed batter and baked it. That shit tastes like Polish sausage. It's like, why would you do that? He didn't even de-stem it. I guess got fucking stemmy fucking brownies. What kind of shit is that? That's just bad. That's poor work ethic. That's what it really is.
Yeah.
But
no, I had somebody, so I used to do a podcast. So just so for everyone watching, Idiotsayswhut is airing every Tuesday with actual topics instead of games and stuff. And we actually have conversations with guests. It's very exciting, which will be airing every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central. And of course, we have Sports Balls, which again is more the left field of sports. But at the same
if
time,
you don't like sports, this is for you. If you can't stand people that are like, I love Alabama, and we are totally taking the piss out of everything sports. We keep it non-serious. And bonus, it's the only sports podcast read by a bunch of comics that don't watch sports. So we just tell entertaining true stories in the sports world. So
And the idea, like some of our past guests have actually been, we had a professional eater on, who was Brandon, the garbage disposal Clark, which was super exciting, and shout out to him. As well, we've had Mikey Beal, who is a quasi-pro disc golfer, which is
he's
exciting.
sponsored, which is
a sponsored disc golfer.
He has his own team, and he's definitely up there. He's got getting that way. It's a little they don't really have like AAA disc golf system, so
yet,
but he's on his way to do that, and he actually makes courses too. It sounds informative, but dude, that guy was funny as hell. And
Mikey was great, and so was this garbage.
So was him, and we talk a little bit about disc golf, and then we just go in for random facts. One of my favorite stories was the NBA player we talked about that got charged because he had a grenade launcher. And that was ridiculous. That was a rabbit hole type event, so that was fun.
Well, even with everything going on, one of the things that we like to tell people is that we are planning a marathon or subathon in a couple weeks on December 31st. It's going to be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central. And one of the things we're actually going to discuss, if you want, because you can check out our YouTube channel, which is at Eargasm on YouTube, Eargasm Comedy on YouTube, and as well there is our Facebook page as well. And I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel, which you can find me everywhere, and of course Tim Lost Comedy. But one of the things I'm in most
dumpsters outside back. Like it's where you can find me.
Well, these are some of our top guests. So we had Michael Rappaport is because he looks like Robert Swift, and we're just going to leave it like that. We had Extreme Ironing Lady, which was one of the pictures. We have Brandon the Garbage Disposal Clark. We have Big James Mayhew, who was one of our first episodes, which is from Slap Mountain. Mikey Beal, of course, who was a great guest. And for some unholy reason, we have Cottage Cheese as well. So we are taking nominations for the Hall of Fame. But please check out our episodes on YouTube. You can there are a bunch of clips there as well.
When we did the nomination process, there was a heated debate about what cheese is proper. And most of the cast decided that cottage cheese deserves the recognition and be a nominee for the Hall of Fame.
So
someone wasn't.
I'm not saying cottage cheese isn't cheese. What I'm saying is it does not belong in a lasagna, sir. and specifically is if you do put it, it is no longer lasagna, but some sort of cheese noodle casserole, not a lasagna. And that's just having standards.
You guys got to check out the episode. It gets into more than that. I know. You know why I'm not going into it? I know how this is a serious topic for Dino. He'll battle me into the earth.
I will die on that hill.
You are not going to give him. You're not going to give him some fucking microwave Stouffer's lasagna and think it's going to be good. He'll call you out on shit. That's why I like it.
You gotta spice Eggo waffles. Okay, you got to use the spices to make the Eggo waffles good. That's how they go for dinner, and that's how it works.
If you're on part of my page, I already have Idiotsayswhut scheduled ready. So yeah, so Dino and us
as well. So they're both there.
I gotta do. I have 2 sports balls. It's going to be indigestion just thinking about it.
Sports Balls is every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and there's a few comics. We are comedians, and so we try and we want to entertain and make people laugh. If you do not want to be entertained, nor do you want to laugh, kindly go fuck yourself. That is our the information we want to pass on.
It's a new tagline for Sports Balls because it is mostly comedians. Is a sports podcast ran by a bunch of comics that don't watch sports. And Jay, because Jay's just a cool dude who hangs out with us and stuff.
Yeah.
He's around comedy. He knows a lot, but this is his first podcast he's doing. So I just thought it was funny. It's like everyone at us and Jay's just putting out vibes, fucking chilling it, rocking it.
Well, and remember, everything that is said can be taken in 2 different ways. You can be offended or you can be entertained. And you know what? That is your job as the viewer to decide. However, if you're going to decide to be offended, good luck. Because we have enough problems as it is. Let's be honest. Our doctors are counting the days, waiting for the insurance payout.
And you're not going to hear no edgy stuff. We're not. It's called Idiot Says What for a reason, and Sports Balls. We're not going to go, what do you think about the wide receiver contract? We don't care.
No.
We're going to talk about, what do you think about these 2 pigs that tore up a golf course and put 2 people in the hospital? That I want to know. I want to know what these fucking pigs are doing and why people start stepping to these pigs. This is the story we need. Fuck Aaron Rodgers, and if I took the vaccine, I don't care. Let's talk about these pigs.
Well, Tim, this is my problem: is that too long people have been paid handsomely to play a sport, and that's fine. So at some point, I believe it was in the early 2000s, suddenly people thought that if you were paid an unreasonable amount for your sport, that you were also entitled to an opinion. This is false, and I enjoy making fun of it because it is ridiculous. And that is what most will do with regards to real sports.
This might be, I don't know if you'll get this joke, but that's what we call Jerry Jones syndrome. I think Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, started all that. You go back to the Cowboys and the Miami, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with having fun in football. I like what they're doing and doing what they're shit, but the problem is football doesn't like it, and then you get this whole discord about it. And already, I'm bored. Aren't you bored? Who the fuck cares? They're getting paid $30 million to play something my kid does for free on a Saturday, you know?
Right.
That's what you mean. Hey, have you ever caught a baseball? Have you ever thought, I'm so good at it, I should get paid $100 million tax-free? No. Like, that's...
Well,
and I understand.
I felt that way. I don't think it was validated.
You know. And I don't blame these players. They're making the money from the league, and it's all part of the system. But I agree. I think sports radio has not learned how to be not entertaining and more informative and opinionated. Here at Sports Balls, we just want to entertain you. And that's our key thing here, especially on Idiot Says What, too. We're not here to tell you how to live your life because, honestly, we don't give a shit. We just want to make sure you can forget about it for a little bit and laugh with us.
Well,
that's what we're trying to do.
If we've made poor decisions, we want to make sure you have fun decisions. That's it. Because let's be honest, is we've both seen some things, and we're going to talk about them. It should be funny.
You don't get a set of teeth like mine without making some mistakes. Like, if anything, this is an indictment on home dentistry. If anyone says I can do it, don't. Go to the dentist. Don't look like me. Go.
I feel you should have waited until you had the position of the new Jaws for 007 confirmed before you did that to your face. That's, wait till the check's been cut before you
it was my first big role. I wanted to show him I'm committed. So
I get it. I'm not faulting you. I'm just saying that's good advice for anybody.
I think maybe when I started eating meth raw was my problem. I think that was the wrong turn. I was like, what? Because I needed to disintegrate him fast to get him pointy. So that's the best substance we have around here in Southern Illinois.
But you got to floss afterwards, otherwise the damage keeps happening. That's the whole key.
Well, aren't you a fuck? All right, M. Night Shyamalan, give the ending away to everyone. Lord, I was getting ready to say the same thing. Look at this guy. Foreshadowing motherfucker.
I cast a big shadow. Some say the clip.
Ow! Dude, we had 3 people watching. We had someone hit on Dino, made me feel very insecure,
Hard.
but accurate.
Hard.
Shot their shot.
Shot their shot. And you know what? Awesome.
This is
I love it.
successful. I will consider it a successful episode as of far. This has been a lot better than I thought it was going to be for our first time. Because to be honest, just one viewer would have been a success because we're new to this platform. So 2 to 3, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much.
I expected 0, so anything above that, hey, that's a win. That's a win.
That's the type of goals you'll see on Idiotsayswhut Sports.
And
obtainable goals.
And accuracy.
That should be the name of our comedy album. Obtainable goals.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
It's good.
I feel like that's we could name a tour that. I think we can name a tour that and then an album. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think we could bring the idea of a 2-man comedy show back from the Laurel and Hardy days.
Definitely.
I'm not sure which one was the fat one, but that's me. So, let's be honest. Black is very slimming, people.
We're just 2 Harveys. That's what that's what we call 2 Harveys. Like,
yeah, that checks out.
That'd be good. I think honestly, I've been wanting to do that stuff for a while. It's really hard to find another person that could be. It's hard to find someone on stage that people want to see for 45 minutes, like, and
especially with faces like ours, we need something to feed off of, and not barbecue all the time. That's
just like in the
most of the time.
Just like in the bedroom, my motto is overcompensate. Just overcompensate.
Well, yeah, that's the whole idea, I may not be adequate in some areas, but I will finger bang you blind.
I'm a Guitar Hero master. I'll do the whittly D's down there. Get you screaming like Van Halen's playing.
Yeah. Listen, it's about knowing your strengths and leaning into them, people. If you lean into your weaknesses, that's going to fail. That's like a lot of chairs underneath us. That's just
my wife's considerably shorter than me, so it almost feels like if I lean too much, she's a kickstand for me. Support me. I'm Superman. I feel like I'm flying.
You know what? It's funny. I had that idea where I'm like, if you're under a certain height, I just assume you're a midget. Like, and my wife's like, what height is that? I'm like, taller than you. She's like, huh, bastard. And I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. I'm like, if anything, I want to be taller. Okay. I'm 6'2", and I'm like, I love it. I would have loved to be 6'6". 6'6" is the tallest you can be to still drive a Ferrari. Mind you, my girth does not allow me to be in a Ferrari, but I could say, well, at least I have the height.
Oh my God. We're so alike and so different. And one of the ways we're so different is you imagined yourself in a Ferrari. I imagined myself making a Ferrari model and going vroom vroom because that shit is expensive. Like that's.
I remember one year, dude. Oh yeah, I remember one year they had a Porsche 911, like a proper Porsche 911 at the car show, and they were allowing people to sit in it.
Ooh.
And I actually sat. So I was smaller than I am now, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. And I sat in it, and I did get in it, but I was like, so the problem is, I held the steering wheel right here. I'm like, if the airbag goes off, it's gonna look like I got hit by a cannon. It's just gonna go right through my chest. There's no, dude, I had centimeters, just fractions of an inch between me and my immediate death. And I'm like, listen, these don't work like paddles. I don't think that I could turn like it was a boat.
Right.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
You're using a Wii steering wheel for the damn thing. It's like this little bit of, it's just, I lost my train of thought. That'll happen. Welcome. Shit. What were we talking about? The edibles are kicking in.
Getting into cars and things.
Oh yeah, and driving. I'm not allowed to drive. I probably shouldn't shut up. But no, God damn it, I was thinking of the tiny steering wheels got me because in my head I'm like, they're just so small at doing it. But I had some banger ass shit. Just be prepared. It was gonna burn like the Dickens, and then it didn't work out too well.
Listen, I remember I rented a Yukon XL for my wedding, and I'm like, oh, that's a me-sized car. I'm like, this just perfect. Like, I grew up learning how to drive on a van, like it was a Plymouth Voyager, and I'm telling
Okay.
you, it had wood panels on the side. That thing was top tier. And when I get into a big car like that, I'm like, oh, it's so good. Because for a lot of time, my wife would drive a Nissan Versa, which is a Nissan Versa doesn't it's cheap, so it doesn't get a moonroof. And I'm like, if it did, if I stood up, I could probably wear the Nissan Versa like a dress. Like it's a small car.
You're a
Uh,
car furry. Just
yeah,
go to
yeah.
vroom,
I could just
vroom.
well, the best part was like whenever I got out of the car and people were around, they're like, "How did that happen?" But when I would walk up to the car, people would be like, "Hey, hey, watch, 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 watch." Then I get in comfortably, and they're like, "How? What kind of wizardry?" My wife called that car Mary Poppins' purse because I don't know how I fit in the car, and so did she. And I'm like, I don't know, it's very magical.
I remember what I was going to say. You were talking about 911 Porsches and stuff. And I was like, I remember I used to watch Top Gear all the time
Same.
and shows just because I want to live vicariously. And they're funny guys. Um, for some time. You
They
have your
had their
favorite
moment.
in the cast. Yeah.
Yeah, they
You-
had their moment.
and if you're a real dickhead, you're like, the Stig was had the best lines. The motherfucker did say damn thing. But I saw one where BMW was making stuff for Americans or something. I think it was BMW, maybe Ferrari, but it was a European automotive company. And they said, all right, we have a new feature for you Americans. And they hit it, and it was a cup holder for your drink. And it was the flimsiest disc ever. Like, you would never want to even put like a small mini can of sparkling water in it. And they're like, here for you Americans that must drink it. Knew immediately. It's like, I don't think that's the type of car for me. 'Cause I don't think that's going to hold my whale sized Slurpee. And
Extra
if,
super gulp,
yeah,
68 ounces of fury and slush. That's
if I'm paying a like six figures for a car plus, I'm drinking a fucking slushy in it. You damn well better believe it. I'm
if it's
not going
six
full
figure, I
Bam
expect the
Margera.
tumbler to hold my drink while I'm driving. Okay.
Right. Well, some of those supercars aren't they like 100 grand easy? I've heard even more
Oh
than
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, Ferraris are ridiculous. I know that.
yeah. There's well, this is the thing is that the assumption is and I learned this a while ago was the difference between a Rolls Royce and a Bentley is in a Bentley you drive, in a Rolls Royce you are driven.
Yeah,
So
that's a class thing.
yeah,
Definitely
it's
makes
very much
sense.
a class thing. So there are certain accoutrements to the car experience that are focused in certain areas, right? The back seat of a Rolls Royce is very plush, very roomy, has all the bells and whistles right at your fingertips, even controls to control the front stuff like the radio and the heat and stuff. Whereas in a Bentley, that's all up front. In the back, you're just a passenger. All right.
Oh, okay.
I know this stuff because I have so much time and I have a thirst for knowledge that is unquenchable. But I'm never going to be using. I hope to someday, and maybe with Twitch's help, who knows?
Who knows? Twitch money. Make that Jake Paul money. Ugh. Maybe I don't
That's
know.
tainted. That's a little tainted money.
I feel bad for saying it. How dare I? I'm such a boomer. Like, name someone who got celebrity from YouTube or social media. Yeah, I'll name some guy from 8 years ago. He's still on Disney, right? I'm your dad.
He's still
Look,
relevant.
yeah,
It's still good. It's still
he's
good.
still he's boxer now. A boxer? Hey, babe,
No,
Jake
he isn't.
Paul's a
No,
boxer.
not really. He's
Logan Paul's a boxer too.
nah.
No,
He's
that's
he's performed in a boxing ring. I think. I believe that's the statement that we were looking for. But
I saw the cup holder. That's what I was like, nah, that ain't for me. That's how I'm going to hold my McDonald's medium cup. Like, I don't know what they're thinking.
oh, oh, guy, you have, and you know what? That's the world over. Like, I remember jumping into cars in Asia, and that's a nightmare.
Can't
Front seat,
imagine.
back seat, like even now. So, like Victoria, my wife is Asian, so we've been to Hong Kong, we've been all over Europe, been to the Caribbean, even a little bit of the States. But the idea was she wants to go to Japan because she's been, I have never been, and I'm like, listen, I've heard stories about Andre the Giant's time in Japan. I'm worried because let's be honest, even in Hong Kong, which is very westernized as a country, just because it was owned by the UK for so long, it was still certain things I would be like, I'm just gonna stand. I'm just gonna stand here and pretend my feet don't hurt.
I don't want to be. They just seem like what it makes sense. If you don't have a lot of over 6 foot people there, like 6'5", 6'6", why would you do that? Like even now, I'm not considerably tall, but if I hit a house built during a certain era around here, then I'm bouncing my head all over the fucking place, and it's just because that's what's built in that time. See, I know stuff.
I believe the descriptive term you were looking for was a romantic Adonis like ourselves. They don't have that. How would they tailor everything to them? That's fair. That's only reasonable.
Oh, well. I went to the big and tall man's area now, and that's your new thing. When you've finally beat Walmart in standard sizes, they have special areas for you to shop now. Usually, there's a football player saying, "Hey, it's okay, wear the same." But now it's Shaq. Shaq's there usually everywhere you go because Shaq's a great marketer. Have you played Shaq Fu? It's amazing. I don't care what the people say. But now it's still expensive. You spend tons of money on jeans, and they don't fit right. It almost feels like you want to go to the tailor, but then the amount of fabric's not going to really help you out either. It's the weird plight because every fat guy body is different. No fat forms the same way.
Some people are built like the blueberry from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? They're just circles with hands and feet.
Every clothing company, you got two. You got either your Danny DeVito or the Blueberry, where you're 3 foot tall, and they give you it's 5X, but it doesn't even cover your belly because you got an extra 3 shirts to the side for your Three Stooges because it's just flapping in the wind, or it's so long and uncomfortable. You got little tiny sleeves, so your turkey neck comes out every 5 fucking seconds, jiggling while you're waving to fans and. Fans look at me and conceited fuck, waving to people that hate me because they're running away in the opposite direction. Hey, I'm friendly, but it's a lot of compromise. That's all it is, really.
Come on, listen. This is where is the accommodations for clothing for the plus size gentlemen have come a long way in the last few years, but there's still a ways to go because I'll be honest, is that there's nothing wrong with feeling comfortable. And I'll tell you, I have destroyed so much clothing in my history that I really feel like didn't have to happen. Those are crimes that weren't my fault.
I've had to make excuses for how my underwear looked because my thighs rubbed together and they get in the way. It looks like small wildlife rodents have been eating the crotch out of all my just string. It's like a fire hazard too, because if I'm walking in my underwear near a candle, that shit's going up. It's just a bunch of Fruit of the Loom strands of what used to be. I've started a fucking. You're so fat you disintegrate fabric. That's a humbling moment when you realize that.
So do you have, and this is Tim and I have only known each other for a few months, and we've been working together and become friendly and learning things about each other, but we found out that we have many similarities, and one of those is this. Now, do you just restock clothing because you atomize it over time? Is that
what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Do you just restock clothing? Like you just buy new clothing because you atomize clothing? Like it just breaks apart eventually, and you're like, okay, I need new shirts because these shirts are falling apart. I need new socks because my socks all have holes in them. Like that's.
It becomes a very procedural thing where style and a lot of things don't fucking matter anymore. Where it's just you get what fits your body. It's somewhat comfortable, looks somewhat presentable. You do the best you can. That's why I went to straight collar shirts and button ups. It wasn't graphic tees stop out at 3XL. Apparently, nerds aren't fat, which I never got the memo because it's damn near impossible. Like and I'm tired of wearing. There's 2 shirts that I've noticed in the Marvel Kingdom that are bigger size: Captain America and Punisher. I'm tired of wearing these for the last 10 years. Give me some fucking spice. And it's sad. I'm not a captain of anything at this size, and I only punish toilets and wicker furniture. I'm not a vigilante. These don't seem to fit. I want a different superhero. Give me Ant-Man or something.
I feel like you could use that to become a vigilante. I'm just gonna, different syndicate, but so somebody sent me a picture of these, which I'm like, what the hell?
What is your? That's an acid ass. He just showed a picture where no, it's not between any thighs or in your goody bits between your thigh and your region or anything. This is a pure ass blowout.
Yeah, you had a full blowout.
2 of them, Al Bundy style. Yeah. This shit, and it's tidy whities that you're from the '82. This came with the Loverboy.
Live in the now, album. Man. If you're still wearing tidy whities, you have a medical issue. Like, no.
You do best of both worlds, box of briefs. You get the extra thing free. Like, yeah, dude.
Same here. Yeah, that was. You can't go back. You can't go back. I wore boxer shorts once in high school, and I sat on one of my testicles. It was the worst experience ever. I refused from that point on, and it was boxer briefs. And for a time, I was wrongfully influenced by someone who was like, yeah, you got to treat yourself good. And I was like, okay. So I bought all Calvin Klein underwear, but then I got too fat to wear Calvin Klein underwear. Oh. It looked like I had the sausage wrap casing around my crotch, which not good for the long-term health, people.
It sucks when you buy a pair and you start getting bigger. So now it starts just slowly rolling off your body till it's low rise. Like you keep pulling up to your stomach, but then the elastic flipped over and flips over and flips over to the point you're basically wearing bikini English shorts. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's ridiculous.
The problem is that gets worse because what will happen is it'll fold down a couple times and you realize, hey, my pants are a little tight. Maybe I need the next size. So then you get a bigger size, which fits comfortably. But then you get new underwear and all of a sudden those pants fall. You're like, oh, no. So now you're going to instinctively start eating more to pack on some weight just to fill out those pants. It's a vicious cycle.
I just had an epiphany. If you're a fat guy and you're a fat kid in fat guy training, let's be honest. I see a lot. Man. I see a lot of aspiring youths out there that could definitely pick up my mantle. Play the bop it game. Remember where you like pull it, bop it, spin it, and it would be because that's what pull your pants up, adjust the front. Get your shirt right. Oh, your undershirt now. Tuck it back in. You're playing adult bop it with your fucking clothes, and you might as well have fun while you can when you still have dreams and you're a kid. Because when you get up, it's not that fun to play. And the laugh at the end is people laughing at you. You go, hey, look at you. Because you're sitting there tucking in your fucking shorts in the middle of Macy's going, I just want this fucking present for my son. Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. I'm sorry. Okay.
A lot to unpack. Accurately, though. And by the way, a friend of mine who is watching, thank you so much, has sent me a picture of the vigilante outfit you may have as your version of the Punisher, which is this.
Oh.
I'm definitely photoshopping your head on that, just an FYI. At least your hairline.
I look like a fucking thumb, and you're going to Photoshop me as Captain Underpants. You won't even have to change the colors. I am liquid paper white. And honestly, I don't have that many facial features. It's got to be a quick day for you in the Photoshop lab. You're just going to walk in, guys, we're going to go home early.
Going home early.
You've been wondering what we're going to put Tim's face on? Give you Captain Underpants. And someone goes, genius. It's like, thank you. I was going to miss my daughter's recital. Dino saves this again.
So mean. I'm sorry.
No, it's true.
Funny.
Though.
It is funny, but it is mean.
You look this way, you got to take the jokes are coming. It's not. I don't want to be a serious fat guy. No. Like, dear Lord.
Oh, those are the worst. This is the thing: is I when somebody cracks a fat guy joke on me, and I haven't heard it, and I don't have a rebuttal, my hat off to you, because I'll be honest, I make fun of me the best. And it's very seldom, unless it's from another fat person. And even then, 50-50, because, let's be honest, I'm a funny guy.
Yeah, other fat guys can't really hurt other fat guys. It's just, it's more of exchanging of notes.
Yeah,
It's
fat on
like,
fat crime is not an actual thing. We don't have much. There's no profitability in fat on fat crime. It's that.
I mean, none. Like, honest, that's very true. You're never gonna see two fat guys square off unless they're paid a lot of money on a weird like UFC fight. Most of the time, we just like chill. Yeah, I have anger problems. I ain't gonna lie. I put that on every guy. And sometimes we make mistakes, but I've been living a while, and seldom I've seen two fucking hot dog looking dudes just strike it out for some chicken nuggets. Like, it's usually pretty civil.
It's well, you know what? Listen, there are worse things to fight out there, and being anti-fat as a fat member of society, that's not going to go anywhere. It's
Yeah, it's I hear this, it's a choice, and it is a choice. I choose to eat the cheeseburgers and shit. But it's not a choice that I decided that I would want a size C tits. Like, I didn't get no choice in that. That was chosen for me. So it's the yin and yang. That's what you got to deal with. Like, I make choices, but those choices then involve stuff that's beyond my control. So I have to gain some control back. But goddamn, I feed my guinea pig kale all the time. He's still a fat motherfucker. He's got diabetes. Like, how's that working?
Some people might call you voluptuous, Tim, and I think that's okay.
They see my bourgeois videos and
hey, OnlyFans was a good thing.
I'm the straight guy from the new drag race coming this 14th. How'd you let the news out of the bag, Dino? Oh Lord. Sorry, Mama Roo. Dino had to. That was.
I remember watching it, and there was a fat guy because my wife is a fashion designer, so obviously it's we watch that kind of stuff, and I find it very entertaining. And let's be honest, RuPaul is the greatest woman that ever lived, played by a man. I think that's great. It's
100%.
fantastic. The interesting part was that there was one person who was, let's say, not permitted on all scales for fear of breaking them. They were that size, and they came out all gussied up, and I was like, honey, she goes, yeah. I'm like, I thought they were all men. And she goes, yeah. I'm like, why does that man have such nice cleavage? She goes, he's just very fat. I'm like, oh, poor guy. Great for the act, though. Great for the act. Some great tits on him.
I have to go and make sure my son's in bed real quick. I'll be right back. But before you go, I want you to just simmer because it'll be like 10 seconds. Have you seen Dragula on Shudder?
I have not.
Oh dear Lord. Oh, I'll be right back. It's a horror themed drag race show. And it is dude, season 1's free on YouTube on the WoW network right now. And it is literally 3 people in a closet doing a spin-off Rue show. When they do the clips, like they do the scan before when they introduce the brothers in the show, they use miniatures outside, like Beetlejuice style. And they're not good miniatures either. I'm not kidding.
I feel like that's also how they did the Playmobil movie to copy Lego. Like there was same type of principle, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely the emoji movie of the drag world. It is that for sure. They're a season. No, they know it. Come on, they don't even refer other drag shows. No one wants them. They're like, I just don't get it. It's like I get the art, but it seems more horror thing. It seems like in that instance,
pick a lane.
It seems like Cranberry. You know how Cranberry's getting thrown into everything? Not everything needs a drag spin. I'm for it when done appropriately and with the right budget.
Respect the source material. That's fair.
This comes off low rent. No John Carpenter Sith music for them is what I'm saying. Let me go ask my son, make sure he's all right.
All right, I'll be here. I'll go through some advertisements and things that we have to talk about. Thank you, everyone, for who's watching. It's very greatly appreciated. We do have our Hall of Fame for Sports Balls, which is going to be tallied for December 31st on our show. That is going to be a marathon starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook and here. It should be very exciting. We're going to be, but please follow Dino Marvel and Tim Lost Comedy, please, on here or on Facebook. We also have our own pages. But as well, you can see our options with regards to the thing that we're doing is your options for nominations on the Sports Balls Hall of Fame, which have clips for everything. There's Mikey Beal, who is a professional disc golfer. We have the Extreme Ironing Lady, who is that iron isn't plugged into anything. It just seems useless, but Michael Rappaport, Brandon the Garbage Disposal Clark, and Big James Mayhew, of course, from Slap Mountain, and Cottage Cheese, which does not belong in a lasagna, and I will die on that hill. As well, let's see what else we have here. There's a few things that we have been doing. Oh, we do have a Patreon as well. So if you want to support our channels, and the Eargasm Comedy Showcase on Facebook are the places that help us develop all this comedy and our shows. So feel free to hit us up on Patreon or the Cash App whenever you want. Also, too, we are getting involved with regards to greeting cards. That is a hard market to go through, so we're leaning on our creativity with that. Obviously, the Christmas season has gone, so we won't be able to make them for that. But as well, Valentine's Day is coming, so why not do something right? Right? So I'll never get old of that picture, but I have new plans. New plans.
You need a cabana boy giving you some lotion. Like have Photoshop Vengeance in the comments giving you the lotion.
I definitely have something in mind for that. It starts here, my friend. You brought this on yourself. That's not.
I did.
Not on me.
I did. I look the way I do, and I'm ashamed. I'm joking.
It got so dark. It got so dark, Tim.
My son is a big author, a big fan of that author, and he actually wrote a banned book, and it got banned here recently. We own it, so I was like, "Ooh, it's a relic." So
a child's book. It's kids like
young it's a banned child's, right? But yeah, it's insensitive to some native cultures.
Is it old?
It's old, but not older than you think. It's probably in the height, but it wasn't deemed.
Yeah,
it's not offensive as much as insensitive, and it was pulled by the author himself just because he didn't want to. It wasn't like a cancel culture thing. It was just more. I was more proud that I own a book and I wanted to tell everyone about it. Like,
see, I feel like you should start in saying my son has this book that he got from school, but now it's banned. Because if you say I got a banned book in my house, they might think it might be Mein Kampf, and that's not good.
Yeah, one of the Tom Sawyer with all the words.
Ooh, never. You know what? I knew about that, but I never paid any mind because, let's be honest, that's not something I would read.
We actually, to tell you how crazy we were in Southern Illinois, we actually read some of that in 5th grade, and the teacher read those parts. One let the kids read it and explain to us it was just a different time back then. And I remember even sitting in the thing going, I don't think it was that different. I think this seems a little wrong. But but it's weird because it was still literature there, and it was an acclaimed book from an American author. It gets in that whole debate of can you separate period art and the artist even from what the content? Because honestly, that was a harsh word. I think they could have rewrote it out, and it wouldn't have changed anything to the book at all. It's not one of those.
But this is the problem: is that there are certain things that we all know have always been wrong, right? Accepted, we still knew they were wrong, right? And those are some things where you're going, hey, listen, you didn't hear those words in proper conversation. You didn't hear that. Like, they were not acceptable. And the fact was that there was a lot of that lasted way too long. And I feel like this is a good, there's two sides of this whole thing of being offended, right? Is number one, progress. Because you know what? Hey, people who stand there and go, wow, I'm edgy. No, you're not. You're just a dick. That's it. And the fact is, think about, and this is one thing that Tim and I have talked about multiple times, was that someone who's like, well, I'm just that way and you just got to get used to me. So what you're actually saying, this is from your mouth, right? Not Tim's mouth, but proverbially, is that you're not willing to put in the effort to become a better person in how you communicate with people because it's just not worth your time. And that just shows that you have a lack of investment in your own growth and in, not treating people's ears like your toilet. And like it's just, and you're going, listen, you can be funny. You can be funny about risque topics, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just trying to, I'm trying to push the line. Whose line? Why is this line? Does it need pushing? What's your problem? Get over it.
If you don't care about anyone's feelings, I applaud you and I understand your side. It's the easier route to go.
Sure.
But I'll also tell you, then why should you expect the same? Why aren't you not expect the same treatment? I'm not going to respect you either. I'm giving you what to do. And it turns into a weird pissing match after that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you can't take it. You can't. No, I'm just like,
And
dude,
look,
I don't have to take it. That's the thing. You're
that's it.
serving it. I can put it right back. I've been to many diners. I don't have to give what fucking Nancy's giving me. I don't have to pay for it.
We have standards. I will send these powdered eggs back
Fucking
immediately.
right.
Okay? You can't burn powdered eggs and still expect me to eat them. That's not how that works.
Well, I got in trouble today because it's American. It's American topic. We choose, and this is just my opinion, we choose not to pay our service industry an adequate wage and give it to the consumers in the form of tips. This is customary pretty much only in America.
Dents for your money. Dents for your money.
It's literally there.
Yeah.
So this causes rhetoric like this. Well, if you can't afford to go out, then you shouldn't and tip, then you shouldn't go out, which is commendable. But then they'll say this statement. And even if you get bad service, you should tip adequately. No, you shouldn't. You should still be not a dick about it, give a fucking sonnet or anything. But I'm saying I've worked, and if you do simple math and work and all this shit, I've worked in the back. This is my idea to solve all your problems. Share tips. Share tips and minimum wage across the board. Applebee's does it. Why can't you guys do it? It was the reason. If you share tips, the cook's going to be on his best behavior and give everything the server can. Right now, in the food industry, working there so my life, we have a clear divide between waitresses and cooks, and it all stems from this area.
Yes, front of house and back of house, obviously.
And we're not saying the servers don't deserve tips. They work fucking hard. But those cooks work just as hard. And for them to get a standard value as is not right when you get sometimes outpaid for them. And also, it's not right for the servers to have to worry about that shit and depend on the market for a job and shit. You were employed for a job. You have some value. Come on. You don't see the manager out there refilling fucking drinks. And if you do, you're kind of cool. And you're probably
That's a good manager. That's a good manager.
You're probably kind of cool and you're not, this doesn't matter to you because you probably treat your employees decent.
A manager that didn't just stay on the line preparing the meals and stuff like that to go out, but would actually go out there, deliver the meals, and was in you with the weeds, was in there with the weeds with you, that's top tier. And I was lucky with the one time that I did, I was a server at a barbecue place. I know it's kind of on brand, right? But realistically, that was one of the things was there were a few managers that were right in there. Others couldn't give a rat's ass. And you're going, listen, that was just how it is. And I don't, we actually we would have to quarter out to the house. And that was a tip to the managers and to the back house staff as well. And that way we were all in there. And you know what? That's the thing is sharing tips in that fashion is not for when times are good. It's when times are bad. That is the key.
Exactly.
We're all in this together. And that's where like that whole idea when everyone was, flatten the curve for 2 weeks. Bullshit. And we're all in this together. No, we're not, motherfucker. We're all in the same storm. We're not in the same boat. It's different, right? And that's why the difference arises when you say, no. If we're all on the same boat, then we all have to work together. But the problem is, we have people singing, if you imagine, go fuck yourself, right?
Well, I just don't I get why they're upset about tipping in your server. Like I've heard everything. But ultimately, couldn't we change the narrative and direct it to like franchises that make this policy acceptable? Like I'm tired of hearing, you won't go out to eat if we raise taxes for the servers or raise rates.
Okay.
A fucking McDonald's cheeseburger is almost $2. yeah, we're still going to go fucking eat. We're a lazy country that doesn't know how to cook. You put a price on good food, people will fucking pay for it. And
Yeah.
that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, oh, do you want the prices? There's people paying $10 for a fucking cheeseburger right now, willingly. They're in Hardee's or Carl's Jr. drive-thru doing it right now. So
But
you act like this is going to affect your bottom dollar is ridiculous to me.
look, just like, and this is where I love things that have happened in during the pandemic, because so everyone knows I am not in any way anti-vax. I want to be very clear about that. I am pro-pandemic. I think staying at home, working from home, and not talking to people physically is a great thing for society, and we should embrace it. But what I'm thinking is, sorry,
No, I agree with that. Nixon, everyone hates Nixon, but we all forget in history that Americans, I don't know about Canada, but in America, we were leaning to a 20-hour work week. Our president said in the 70s, the 40-hour work week is just not sustainable. People are getting more work done quicker and they're having more time with their families.
yeah.
What do you think they did with that information? They realized we have a lot more to give to the corporations. Now we're soulless, making cars and all this stuff to support our family that we don't get to see but twice a year, and that is fucking grim and shitty. And it's even more fucked up that people defend this,
And
this is the best it can get. Nah,
what
man.
people forget is a livable wage creates an environment where people can have pride in any job they have. Remember, the minimum wage was created to protect a single income family to be able to be sufficient.
And somehow they've twisted that in so many years, that good thing, into now it's um
It's a
if you're
starting. That's how you get into the market. My
you
ass.
only took this job because of you. No discernible factors. It was you and your fault. America gave you all the tools and you failed. It's the narrative they give to the service industry, which is now a bunch of 25 and 30-year-olds that have to work there because our whole nation is full of service industry. Hell, I'm doing a service right now to you guys. Your
Yeah.
phone breaks, service industry. There's so much that happened. The service industry boomed, but we haven't given the respect to it. Everything advances, but we're still, and I get into it too. I paid the 20 cents delivery charge, Mr. Man. You better do it just right. But that's where it kind of, I don't think people are aware that they're doing it, I guess, maybe more.
But this is the problem, is that awareness and understanding of how every part of the equation works is how we get out of it. Like, look, one of the things we were talking about on Idiot Says What this past week, we had a guest who's running for governor in the state of Nebraska. And it was a
Yep.
great conversation. He's also a teacher, and we're actually making great headway. So please check out the video. We do have it isolated. We call our interviews Nestled In with Idiot Says What, because we're big guys and we cuddle well. That's just a fact.
It all makes
Uh,
sense when you see the clip
yeah,
art.
yeah. So, not so much right now, but like a few nestled ins, old ones, you'll get it.
You get it.
But the fact is that when you realize, like at a very young age, I was like, oh, look, they're trying to explain why the service rates are so high in a garage. My dad, who had his own business, but I was very young at the time, goes, yeah, that's right. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, those are all the costs that go into the end service. And I went, oh, well, then that's reasonable. And he goes, it is. And you start to realize that, listen, very few people are aware that the minimum wage was created to sustain a single income family so that they could have a roof over their head, food in their bellies, and be able to have that chance for the American dream, be able to provide for education, house care, like all those things factor in. These are where we have lost touch. And look, I'll be honest
I'll
with you.
go
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
please.
you're on a roll, dude. I shouldn't even. Mind my P's and Q's. That was rocking.
No, but that's, listen, being understandable of how things work. Like a lot of times you've seen people in a restaurant say, I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. Now, are they being an asshole? Maybe. Or are they holding you to a standard that they expect? Now, for myself, having been a waiter I was a waiter for about 2 years, and it was one of the funnest jobs I ever had, because the best part was the stress ended as soon as I walked out of the door.
Mhm.
Right, and that's one of the great luxuries of the service industry, is that the stress of that evening is done as soon as I walk out the door.
It rarely follows you.
It Well,
Each
and if it
day,
does, I'm big enough. I'll kick its ass. Let's
it's
be
like
honest.
it's an episodic show. It's all bottleneck episodes, and whatever happens that day, next day's different, and
Exactly.
it's always got that flow.
And but that's the thing, is understanding from that perspective. And that's why the whole idea of, number one, always respect the people who handle your food. In general, people who are in a service industry, giving them a livable wage means that they can take pride in their work and be the best that they possibly can. Why? Because they're not worried about being evicted. They're not worried that they can't afford to feed their children tomorrow, right? It's not unreasonable. The best part is when people are like, well, they should work harder. That's not a thing. Saying
It's
that people
because
don't deserve to survive because they don't have the work ethic. My ball sack, people.
human life has never been so low. And we're near, like, circled back to the dark ages of what we expect from
Yes.
human life, which is get whatever I can, fuck everyone else.
Which is wrong.
And which is wrong, understandable in the climate that we're living, but I would
Yes.
think after a while we would be conscious and aware of it and move on. Another thing, contentness and convenience. I was thinking of this other day, like, convenience ruined a lot of things for us,
Yeah.
because how are we not going to give plastic straws and silverware away? Oh yeah, the environment, Al Gore. I've been doing it my whole life, and it's been okay. Now it's wrong. You want me to carry my own silverware in my purse or on
My
person
own
with a
straw?
straw? That's
Oh.
gross. You know what? So convenience. We lived through an era where corporations did what they could to be convenient for us,
Mhm.
and now they realize the detriment tenfold. And I don't think going back's a possibility
Well,
on a
an, exa-
consumer standpoint.
an example. This is a perfect example. So I have a coffee from a mermaid laden cup from earlier today. Okay. And it has, if you can see, let's go there. You can see I have a zippy cup. Every time I order and I get my zippy cup, they'll say, "Do you want a straw?" And I look at them, I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. I'm not a monster." And they're like, "We have to ask." I'm like, "Whoever made that rule should die by public execution, because that's
It's
not how it
crazy.
works."
It's crazy, man.
Anyways,
My wife just came home.
hey,
Uh, everything's got. I've had a great time.
I
Twitch,
have
Twitch, you treat us too good, man. This is a
life
good time.
affirming. This has been great.
Yeah, 3 people for most of the time. I know that doesn't seem a lot, but we're gonna look back on these days and be like, "This was awesome. This was the starting point of something awesome." I'm glad you guys were here for it, man.
Hey, shout out in the comments where, hey,
We stopped at 4, but we had a
and
lot
April
more fun
taken.
doing that. Yeah, 4 is a good number.
Damn it. It's fantastic. Anyways, everyone, this has been Idiotsayswhut Twitches, and not from diabetes. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. These videos will be accessible, but please follow us. We have a YouTube channel at Eargasm Comedy, as I showed with regards to Patreon. And of course, you can sponsor us through here. I believe that is a process that is available, but we have Patreon and Cash App if you'd like to help us continue doing this kind of work. So please hit us up. We have schedules that we will be following, and they will happen. Tim has a dog. I have a gorgeous cat. And trust me, when I say gorgeous, I mean super gorgeous.
Oh, it's pretty fuckable. That's a fuckable cat. I would. You try. We're trying to get our dog to bark too, because we just like to do that. Because podcasts and howling go hand in hand, guys.
That's a scientific fact.
This is little dog. He hates the camera. Apparently. Thank you, guys. You've been awesome. Later on.
We'll see you guys later. Here's our outro music.